Hello everyone, this is Iriseon, and today I'm doing a Let's Play of sorts of Oblivion. This will just be the tutorial level, and I'm sort of setting this up for maybe a sort of intro or just a playthrough of the Thief questline and possibly I can't remember what they're called, the assassin type, the very dark and mysterious and deadly assassin type. I wish I did remember the name. It's just I haven't played this game in a long time. I recently reinstalled my whole operating system and hard drives, so I went through and recorded Oblivion. It runs pretty well on this old computer. It's an AMD 6000 plus, which is a 3 gig dual core, about 3.5 gigs of RAM, and an ATI 4871 gigabyte, which is an older, it was a high-range card for its day, but it's just pretty old by now, I guess relatively in terms. But I've heavily edited the beginning intros. A lot of this text is culled down to its very essence. I feel bad about talking over it all, but I can leave it as it is. I would just rather sort of explain it. There's a lot of Oblivion stuff on YouTube. All sorts of cool things you can do with the physics, with glitches, much like Fallout is. You know, it's the same game, Biro or Brio, whatever it is, the engine, which I don't think is made by Bethesda. It's an engine that they bought from someone else. Just like if you were to make like a game based on the Unreal Engine or based on the ID Tech whatever engine, the id software. I'm sorry, id software engine, like Ego and id. Are you all right, sire? Yeah. So what's happening now is I was in a prison. That whatever character you make from the very start, you get to make their face and their hair and all that, and what race they are. And I've chosen a female high elf and Captain Renault. They've been killed by these assassins that are coming after the Emperor. I was in prison and they came my way, and the Emperor said, what is this person doing here? We've got to get through here for our secret passage. And I've seen you in my dreams. You're the one. And so you kind of follow them along, whatever character you make. And it's good to take her sword. Trust me, it's the strongest weapon you'll find in here. There's a lot of tutorial things you'll find. Lots of rats, a few goblins as you get further on, and as soon as you go through the door here, they give you a little tutorial on how to use spells and set up spells, so you do that. Right before this room was they have you pick up a bow and shoot at a well with one of your arrows. It's all scripted in. Here's another scripted event. These rats won't attack you. I've had them attack me before. I don't know why they are now. Maybe because I'm in stealth mode. They still see me, but they're trained to run away from this zombie. Not exactly a Minecraft zombie. Even scarier. Actually, I don't know if they're scarier than creepers, but a very high-def zombie. There's all sorts of texture packs and stuff you can do, mods. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to reinstall yet, because this game runs great with all the vanilla settings. And any additional overhead I can add with all sorts of mods may not be worth it in the end. I may just want to play vanilla. But I've always loved the Thief style of play. But it's obviously always good to have a blade, and magic is always helpful. No matter what kind of class you're going to play in Oblivion, you're most likely going to be a hybrid of some sort. You're always going to have use for spells, even if you're melee. You're always going to have use for melee, even if you're spells, and both types are always going to have use for sneak in some way or another. Some quests almost essentially require it. There you go, a sneak attack for 2 times damage, just because you didn't see me. There's that little ring around the crosshair you see. It's just an eye that tells you whether you detect it or not. This goblin triggers his own trap, but it didn't hit him. It was useless. Little physics spikes that come from the ceiling. And right in the head. Oof. That's part of the reason I love being a marksman. arrows are awesome in this game because you get to see where they embedded themselves in the creatures. And this is a small trap, which seems like it was. I mean, it's obviously made just for the tutorial, but that's kind of stuff is never really expanded on. You find traps in some dungeons, but usually quite lackluster. Just usually simple physics traps, nothing more. Nothing so blatantly set up for to use against the enemy. Yes. It's far better to be, in my mind, to be an archer with range magic. You're going to want destruction magic, and in my playstyle, I really prefer to have conjuration spells. But you don't get that in the tutorial level. All you get is a fire spell, a range fire spell, and a heal yourself spell. Later on, you'll get spells such as you can heal other people, which is always useful for your horse when you get into horses. Even if, I mean, if you even want to get into horses, by the time you get leveled up quite a bit, if you're a thief type and you run around a lot, sneaking will not up your run skill, but normal running will. And by the time you get up there, you can pretty much run faster than most of the horses. And that affects your fast travel times and all the rest of it. So let's say I was a really slow runner. In fact, I may be talking out of turn here in effect, because I don't know if that's true, but I kind of noticed it through my gameplays, but that may be anecdotal. Regardless, you run really, really fast. You jump really, really high with a thief style. You probably do with a melee style too for your normal style of play. But I've gotten it to where I normally play pretty much the main game and then save the Shivering Isles expansion for the very end. And by that time I can jump over the roofs, you know, from house to house, and it's great. And the Thief questline is very well done. The Dark Brotherhood, that's it. That's the assassin's name I was looking for. That's very well done as well. I just killed a goblin spellcaster there and took its staff. And staffs are only useful as long as they have charges. Which, they're alright. I mean, you just, like, that lightning spell that goblin was launching was directly from his staff. So you can play like he does and alternately launch your own spells and then launch your staff out.
No, she is not one of them.
That's right.
She can
stand up for me.
She must help us.
Thank you, Patrick Stewart.
As you wish, sire. They cannot understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. Which sign marked your birth?
And here, a lot of times I've chosen High Elf because you have a lot of innate magical power, which is good when you're playing a thief style, a stealthy character, because that boost in magic is just gonna help me naturally when I'm not in my average day-to-day adventuring, not leveling up magic skills for the most part. So that'll give me a boost. And normally I do choose the mage birth sign instead of the thief. One extra 10 luck is pretty good.
Although I admit, things are not going according to plan. Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right.
The other birth signs, as the default vanilla Oblivion has them, in my opinion, aren't really worth it. There's like the Steed, which is extra 20 run speed, or extra 20 speed skill, or something like that. It's not really worth it. There's like the Serpent, which is an extra... I can't remember if it's a greater or lesser power, but you can get greater powers, which you can use only once every 24 hours, and then lesser powers, which I think you can use all the time. But a lot of these burst signs will give you just like a greater spot, like a greater power. That's not, in the end, I mean, if I really want to spell like that, I can level up my alchemy or just normal magic use.
Watch your back, Boris. Prisoner, help the Emperor! Die, then! Protect the Emperor! Oblivion for the Emperor!
I like that little invisibility or decloak effect these guys have when they die.
From the other side. A trap! What about that side passage back there?
Worth a try. Let's go.
And all the scripting and the characters, the lip syncing, all the rest is not perfect. It is really well done, as anyone knows who would have played the Fallout games or this game. See right here, they're waiting for their script to run, but it's not until I walk away.
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son. Find him, and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Goodbye, Patrick Stewart. We hardly knew ye.
Stranger, you chose.
We failed. I failed. The Blades are sworn to protect the Emperor. Now he and all his heirs are dead. The amulet. Where's the Amulet of Kings? It wasn't on the Emperor's body. Strange. He saw something in you. Trusted you. They say it's the dragon blood that flows.
Now this is
through the
a
veins of every
default
scepter.
Oblivion installation, but it has the latest patches, Shivering Isles,
The Amulet of Kings
Knights of the
is a sacred
Nine,
symbol
all
of
the
Empire.
DLCs.
Most people
It's
think of the
so
Red
it's all
Dragon
patched to the
crown, but
latest.
that's just jewelry.
I don't have any mods, but
The amulet
if you
has
were to get
power.
mods, I would highly
Only a
recommend
true
you get
heir of the
Oblivion
blood
Mod
can inherit,
Manager
they say.
and also
He must have
Wire
given it to you
Bash.
for a reason.
In fact,
Did he say
Wire
why?
Bash is no longer maintained by the original author, but it
Joffrey,
has a bunch
he
of
said that?
new
Why?
authors that are contributing to it.
Nothing
At least I
ever
don't
heard
think
about
it's maintained
but
by
Joffrey would be the
Rye.
one
I'm
to
sorry,
know.
it's not Wire, it's
He's
Rye.
the Grand Master of my order. Here, you'll need this key for the last door into
But
the
I know
city.
it's not on his website anymore. But it's a good
There were
tool
rats and
because
goblins down
if
there.
any of you have ever
But from what
patched
I've seen of you,
Morrowind,
I'm guessing
it's
you're an
kind of a tricky
experienced pilgrim.
process, and it
Am I
still
right?
kind of holds true for Oblivion. It's a little easier, but there's a lot of little gimmicks with the game. You're going to want Oblivion's script extender too for a lot of the plugins that run in the background to cut down on just stuttering and all the rest of it. So here I've chosen a custom class because all the cookie cutter classes that exist never really exactly give me what you want. You don't really ever want alchemy as a main profession because you'll just be leveling up so quick and you want to use alchemy to make money. I've chosen intelligence there because agility is going to help, it's going to boost all of my sneaky thief type skills. But the intelligence I'm only really getting so I can have more magic power, or I think it's just, yeah, it's more magic points, and it's gonna up my conjuration because that's one of the biggest things I rely on. I use is I'll be sneaky, staying in the shadows, conjure up a demon of some sort, and let it go around the corner and attract all the monsters' attention. And then I just come around from the corner and snipe them all. And if you're pretty well hidden and you've got some sort of chameleon effect on, they'll never even see you. And near the end of the game, it's almost like cheating, but it still never loses its luster. It's sort of like getting headshots in Fallout 3. You'd think after a while you'd be tired of slow motion exploding brains, but you never really do tire of it.
Really? I would
At least
never
I
have
don't.
guessed. Still, I don't think you'll have any trouble with rats and goblins. By the way, thanks for recovering Captain Renault's sword. I'll see that it is given a place of honor in the halls of the Blades.
Too bad. The best weapon I have in the tutorial level is snatched away so quickly. But by now you've chosen your class, so they figure you can go on your own. There's a short segment of the sewers you reach. See now even though my fire spell was pretty strong before because I'm a high elf, it's a lot stronger now. And this is the last portion. So I'm hoping to be playing, like I said, the Theif and Dark Brotherhood quests. But we'll see where that goes. It's a very long game and I'll have to play a lot to get there. Thanks for watching. It's been Iriseon.